Hey, welcome to the Pharmacy Residency Podcast, a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. My name is Tony Guerra, and I am helping still with letters of intent. We've got, it's the first of the year, so probably about 2 more weeks worth. So if you need help with that, residency.teachable.com/p/extreme LOI. I wanted to talk really quickly about late transcripts and late recommendations, what to do. I know some of you, English is not your first language, and something like this is actually a really hard thing to do because you have to communicate something via email to the person that's going to decide whether or not you get a job. And for many of you, you're translating English from a different language. And instead of what you want, which is to tell someone, hey, my transcript's late, you're actually saying, hey, I don't have command of written English. Remove my application from the pile. So I don't want that to happen just because, you've had a different journey. Again, my dad's an immigrant, and English wasn't my first language, though I kind of went overboard getting an English degree. So let's start with the actual document, late transcripts. Dr. Program Director, my name is, and why would you need to put your name in here? Well, some of your emails are like if my email might be AAG at, University of Potomac River College of Pharmacy.edu, right? They don't know who you are from the top of your email. And what you need to do is make sure that in the subject line, you put late transcript, your name, and your school, because residency directors have hundreds of emails and they need to be able to quickly find yours so that when they say, oh, this person's late with their transcript, I don't see anything, we're going to have to discard this application. You say, no, I sent you an email, but your email had like a subject line of I'm sorry or something like that. Okay, so make sure the subject line is appropriate. 3 things: late transcript, your name, your college. Then in the body, you need to put your name, your college, because when they look for it, when they search, they have to have those keywords in there. Some of you have images for your signature, and those images can't get, the search can't go into an image and find your name, your school. So when they say, hi, this is Bob Jones, I've got 3 Bob Jones, okay? So make sure that that's in there. Second, I requested that my official transcript go to forecast. However, there have been delays with the United States Postal Service. Yes, you're saying someone else did this, but let's look at what's happening. You have APPEs of 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and 6 weeks, and deadlines from the middle of December to the middle of January, okay? So 3 different possibilities with 30 different days. You do the math, okay? And it is insane how many different combinations you can have, okay? And then you factor in, when does the pharmacy school close? When does the pharmacy school open, okay? So just one sentence, I requested that it go to forecasts. There's been delays. I checked and the official transcript has not been received as of today. So you check today, this day, which is before the deadline or on the deadline. I have enclosed a copy of my unofficial transcript in lieu. In lieu just means instead of, just one fewer word, as an attachment to this email until the proper documentation can arrive. Again, I'm very sorry for this inconvenience. Why do you have to do this? You have to do it because they can't score you. If there's no transcript, there's no way to score you because they have no idea if you're really at a college of pharmacy. Okay, so that's going to be late transcript. And you can find this document and then the next one I'm going to go over, which is late recommendations, at residency.teachable.com/p/extreme LOI. And there's a free resources tab at the very top that you can find these documents. Okay, so that's the late transcript. Second thing is the late recommendation. Okay, Dr. Program Director, my name is pharmacy student from the University of Potomac River College of Pharmacy. Again, your subject line must read late recommendation, your name, your school, because you have to look at it from their point of view. They're seeing single line items. Okay, they have to see exactly what is this email about in that single line item. Okay, especially for those most competitive programs that have many hundreds of applicants. And I understand I have a recommendation outstanding, and I wanted to update you on this issue. This is the most important part. I initially requested the recommendation on and put the day that you did it. Okay, you might have asked for this recommendation in October, and the faculty member might have put it off until this time. And they might be a director of pharmacy, and they might be really busy, and they might have a ton of stuff going on. I just put, but life circumstances has made it difficult for my recommender to meet the deadline. Okay, so no blame, just life circumstances. Couldn't meet the deadline. I've been in touch with them, and they indicated they would forward that recommendation on January 2nd, 2021. I want to apologize for this inconvenience. Sincerely, residency applicant. Okay, all you're doing is saying, look, this is who I am. This is where I'm from. I asked for the recommendation with plenty of time. Unfortunately, something happened. It's their fault. I'm not going to say it's their fault, but I'm telling you what's updated and where it's at now. So I know some of you, a simple missive like this is incredibly difficult to get exactly right because unfortunately it happens all the time. Where let's go back to an example. Last night we were watching on New Year's the TV, and someone was trying to explain the COVID restrictions at a tennis club, and it got to be funny because she would say, "Well, you're not allowed to touch the tennis balls," and she would forget to say tennis, but you can kick them. Okay. And it became this thing where, the security guy behind her is kind of laughing behind his mask and all of that. And that's funny. It's a play on words. Haha, we go back to grade school and we make fun. This is not funny. This is really important that every time you send an email that you have Grammarly check or that you have someone who is a native speaker check your grammar and syntax. Because it is very easy to insult the RPD or the residents. Okay, there is a template out there that says your residence. Okay, that is extremely, extremely insulting because it's actually the resident reading it. Okay, they are their own people. Okay, just say Dr. Smith and Dr. Jones. It's great to meet them. This is what I got from them. Don't say your residents. Okay. So I'm just saying, as you're communicating back and forth, this is just like you went into the interview and you are saying something good or you're saying something bad. Your emails are just as important because all of this stuff goes into your file. Okay. All right. So you can find both of these documents again at residency.teachable.com/p/extreme LOI. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about is how does forecasts treat late recommendations and all of these things. Okay, so this is what forecast says. Forecast says it's not us. Okay, and what I mean by that is, let's see if I can get this to expand. Not sure why it wouldn't do that. Okay, all right, well, it's being goofy. So I'll just put it here. There we go. All right. And I don't see an ability to make it bigger, but let me read it to you. A pharmacy residency program may deny your application if your materials arrive late. Whether your transcripts are late or whether your recommendations are late, they can turn you down. Okay. The reason you can't ask for an extension, because there are no extensions from forecasts, is that forecast has no deadlines. All of the deadlines are a pass-through. All of the deadlines are program specific. Forecast will still send your recommendations and still send your transcripts. They're going to wash their hands on it. It goes right to the site. If it went to the site late, then that's up to the site. Now, is it a bit draconian in the COVID era to say, look, this is our deadline. Sorry, that was it. But what it really is that they've taken those they've split them up between the residents, and they're working on them now. And then anything that comes in late, they have to say, okay, well, who wants another one to read? And the immediate feedback from that is, well, you know what it's like at the pharmacy. Okay, I've got all my prescriptions. Great, we'll just check you out here. Oh, I forgot. I need to get this one filled. So you're sitting there at the register. You're just about to ring them up. They hand you a prescription expecting you to go fill it real quick. People in line, what do you do? Do you say, okay, well, we can get that for you in a couple hours? Well, no, I need it now. I'm in line. Can you just fill it? Well, no, it has to go in line behind all of these other people. I don't see anyone around here. Right, but they're in the queue, and they're in the drive-through, and they're here. Well, right, but can't you just fill it now? Okay, and the same thing is true here. Okay, so they've got maybe 2 or 3 people out of the 200 that are late with certain materials, and then when do they come back to those materials? You have to update them on that. When do they? Who gets it? Who has to do the late ones? Do they do rock, paper, scissors, shoot? How do they do that? So it's extra work. And the big problem with late materials is that a late material is like showing up late to the interview. You've got 9 people there. Everybody was on time except you. You've got a good excuse, but unfortunately you're still late. So again, the best that you can do, here are the templates, send them what you can, apologize, and hope that they still allow your material. But unfortunately, according to forecast, it is completely up to the site. And the site might just tell you right away from your email, hey, I'm sorry, a deadline's a deadline. We unfortunately can no longer accept your application, which is the kindest thing to do if they're not going to take it. But sometimes you may not hear back at all. And I think some of you are feeling this right now where you're like, I've emailed the site and they've said nothing. Okay. So again, if you don't hear anything back, I would say, hey, I just wanted to check in. Just wanted to make sure I saw that the recommendation did post, that my transcript did post. Can you just send me a quick, got it, something like that. Okay. All right. Well, again, I wish you the best. I'm still doing letters of intent. Residency.teachable.com/P/extreme LOI. And now my other course, which for those of you that are going to be receiving interview invitations very soon, it's residency.teachable.com/P/interview. And you can check that out. There's a free video in there about what your interview day is like, but I will talk about that over the next coming days and weeks.